Good morning, everybody. Let me just drop this link in. We'll go from there. CPI was really good. So I'll post this, but CPI was 0.3 month over month on the core. Year over year, 5.9. CPI year over year was 8.5. CPI month over month was 0. So these were great numbers across the board. I would expect stocks to bid up higher based upon this. I would expect them to go higher. Okay, I would expect things to keep moving forward. Just give me a moment while I drop this link in, and then we can actually celebrate some decent news in the market for a change, figure out what we're going to do about it. But this is obviously excellent news for the market, to say the least. And let's just jump right on this and get the shareable link and go from there. And just drop this in the video room and go from there. So and we'll go from there. All right. So, but if you were to look at these numbers, I mean, they are pretty substantial. I would strongly suggest that you look at these numbers and just see what's going on out there. I mean, it was a really, really solid quarter for CPI. Let's call it a month, year over year, go from there. But I mean, just absolutely solid. And, definitely something that, you want to see out there. So just keep that in mind. I don't see any reason to be selling anything here. I'm just going to be blunt. I'm doing a bunch of stuff right now while I'm talking to you. And just give me 1 second. And we're good. All right, good. So the question becomes, these numbers are awesome. I mean, there's very little to say here. So just deal with that fact that these are great numbers. There's very little to say about them. You're going to probably watch people chase a little bit here. And I think that's going to be really interesting. So I'm just going to post these down here so you can see everything. But you're going to see a lot of people chasing names right now. So just watch that. I fully expect this to go back to like 9 now. LABU is bidding up 10% already. These are solid numbers that convince the world. Look at them. Look at the equities. Look at what's going on here. So you're just going to see a melt up, at least off the open. How long that lasts, you don't chase anything here, but you're definitely going to see that melt up in the market right now. And the reason for that is this was just an absolutely solid number. Very little to say about it. Just really solid number. You're going to bounce around, of course, ahead of it, but it's really hard to beat this number. There goes Apple taking off. And I would expect a lot of people to be putting money to work right now in the market. That's just my opinion of it. I just think you're going to see this all day. People are going to buy pullbacks. You're going to see some selling off the open, obviously. That's just inevitable. But overall, I fully expect a lot of this stuff to, continue to push. I really think that you'll see that. So just keep that in mind. But I think you'll see a lot of this just continue to kind of push down, and we can kind of go from there with it. But let's just, let me just see something here and go from there. Just looking at a couple names that I actually have, and just looking at what I want to do with them, if anything here. But I'm watching this like a hawk. And I would just really watch these levels. I mean, you're setting up to keep pushing. I'm not so sure that bar is even going to stop. Just watch the market here. You can't chase, but this was what you needed to see. This is exactly what you needed to see. I'm actually surprised this is bidding down. So you're going to just kind of have to see if you continue to push or not here. But again, this is really very difficult to not be very excited about this number. I'll take questions. I'm going to be flipping around a lot. I don't think you're going to be sideways anymore. I think you're going to break out. I think you're going to see a lot of people, even the dips now, get bought. I really do. I think you're going to see dips get bought. Good morning. Good morning, Shock. Good morning. What's going on, Shree? So we thought that these could be good numbers. They are. What's up, Mitch? I mean, there's very little to say. I'm actually seeing if I'm seeing any weakness at all. I'm seeing very, very little so far. I'm just seeing people push. SRTS are their names there. Let's just take a look and see what we've got. I mean, I like that setup. These are the kinds of names you're going to want to start watching, everybody. Like, these are the kinds of names that could just continue to keep taking off. So you're definitely going to want to watch stuff like this. That's for sure. You know, when you start seeing this kind of buying come in the market that you're seeing over here, watching this come up, and you start seeing names take out highs, there's absolutely, you know, nothing wrong with trimming into this, you know, pre-market. But like names like SRTS, anything that's setting up like that now is going to get like more of a green flag, right? You're going to see more people lean that way, you know, to do something with it, I guess is what I'm getting at. So you're going to see more people kind of lean that way to start buying these kinds of names. You know, the names, the stuff that you need behind you is out. And I think that that's really what's important. Like, you have to understand, if I'm using this as a guide, right, you're going to have to understand that the stuff that you need is out. So you needed this CPI number. People are going to have way more confidence owning names now, letting these things set up and go. You're going to have way more confidence in owning the NASDAQ here than you ever had before, right? Like, now you're really going to be comfortable owning the, you know, owning the NASDAQ. So I think that that's really important. But there's nothing wrong with, you know, if you really want to, you know, trimming into it. So keep that in mind as well. I definitely wouldn't buy up here. Let everybody else buy, but names like SRTS, just let them go. Let it go. Let it, like, if you're in it, don't be in a hurry here anymore. The worst piece of data that you had to get behind you is pretty much out. And I think that that's how you should be looking at this. I think that's really how you should be viewing it. So, you know, that's really where my head would be with this. You know, that's really where I would go with it. I would not be in a, you know, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. I would not be in a big hurry here to make any, you know, huge decisions. Let this stuff trade around. Let this bounce around. But if you're in names like SRTS and you're setting up like that, you really don't want to pull the trigger. You just kind of want to let them work right now. Okay. Because you're going to see a lot of chasing and a lot of dip buying, and a lot of secondary names are going to get pushed by the side, you know, the side. So let me just hold this 1 second. 1 second. I'm going to put some comments in the trading room really quickly. Okay, great. So sorry about that. I just had some trades in the trading room that we did last night, and they are working. So I just want to take a look at those and kind of go from there. There goes Tesla. Boom. NVIDIA. So bear with me. I'm trading, and I'm also answering questions, and I'm also in the trading room right now. Obviously, that takes priority, but I do want to be here to help everybody. Would I buy here pre-market? No. I'm actually looking, Miguel, at selling, and every time I look to sell something, it breaks out. So I was looking at this. I mean, you know, from the room yesterday, we bought this at like 843. I was actually thinking of selling some of this, and it's just building this high tight flag. So I'm like, why even bother? You know, just ride it. You know, maybe it goes through 900 today. I really think you're going to see a massive push here now, because the story is coming out, right? So the story is that the earnings are okay, but inflation is coming in. So if they can thread the needle on this quote soft landing that they keep talking about, this might be somewhat interesting. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's kind of where my head is with it right now. So, you know, this could definitely, it could definitely work, and we're seeing that. But would I be buying anything? No, I'd be selling into this, and I'd be doing it from that perspective. I would not be a buyer. You're going to have to wait for the open, Joseph, and you're going to have to take a look. Anybody that's chasing anything right here is going to have a bad day. I'll say that again so you get it. Anyone that's chasing right here, you're going to have a bad day because you're going to have people that bought yesterday or have positions from yesterday that are going to sell right into this off the open. Okay, so what I would be doing with something like TTD is I would have my levels drawn. So what I would do, Joseph, is this is how I would do the trade. I would be looking at that trade and going, where's the worst case scenario that I'm going to possibly test? So that would be one level that I could possibly test off the open. Now, you don't know that you're going to test that or not, but you could test that level, right? So you're going to want to watch that level and see if you're going to test it. If you're super adventurous, you could buy it right here and use this as your stop because this is a huge flag, Joseph, and you've now broken out of that flag, right? So just keep that in mind. What's up, Terry? Yeah, the one thing that I would say about this administration that's really kind of frustrating is I agree with you. I think that this was a layup at a certain level, and I didn't have the patience with this earnings. I didn't have the patience on this earnings to just buy this and sit with it. Whenever they get rid of the tariffs, that's going to explode. So whenever they get rid of those tariffs, this is just going to rock and roll. So, just keep that in mind. Okay. Just keep this in mind. So, and we'll go from there. But hold on one second. Wait till open. So just saying could reverse during the day, VIX up 4%. Nice. Just bear with me, doing a couple different things. So, just keep watching. But I'd be really careful with utilities right now. Like here, Terry, do you have this set up? I would set this up. I would tell everybody to have this set up. So over here on the right-hand side, this is TrendSpider. You can use any system you want. But if I click change, right, it's going to show me what's up and what's down. So this is going to show me what's up the most. This is going to show me what's down the most. I put the S&P in here so you use it as a guide. Why do I do this? And everybody might want to remember this. It's a real simple, quick fix. What is outperforming the market today? What is underperforming the market? So do I want to buy utilities and energy, or do I want to be buying biotech, consumer staple companies, and tech, right? So that's kind of where my head would be for the day. Longer term, I think this company's a beast, but you got to buy it down here. Like you're in one big base, right? Like look at that base. So I think you're kind of in no man's land, and you don't really want to be buying utilities when they're breaking out, right? They don't really trade like that. Tesla, let's go. Isn't that nice when something actually works? So, it's really nice when that happens, isn't it? So just let it go. I really don't see a sense of doing I see a sense of doing very, very little with it. I've done very little with a lot of these names here. I have not, really sold into any of this yet. And I have some pretty decent sized positions, to be quite honest. So, I'm just kind of watching this, and I'm watching these levels and seeing how we're holding. And so far we're holding great. So I wouldn't do much. I would just sit, watch, and wait and kind of go from there. There's not a lot that I would do. Just watch. Let's keep going through the comments. I'm going to have to jump at 9:15 today to get into the room, the trading room. There's a link up top pinned for those that ask for a preview of the trading room and have questions about it. It's right there. If you have personal questions that you don't want to just throw in the room or something you're struggling with, just email me there. And I do get to everyone's email. It just takes some time because I'm a one-man shop, and I'm going to keep it that way. I want to be the person that answers. So, but in regards to Tesla, just sit back, man, let it go. I mean, the only reason that didn't move more was the CPI, and CPI was excellent. I would not chase. I'm just going to tell you, I don't chase. So it's not my thing. It's not how I trade. I build positions. I put stops in for those positions, and I see if they're going to work, if I'm right or I'm wrong. That's how I've invested. I've been doing it 20 years. I know when I chase, I get crushed. If you buy Tesla at 892 and it goes to 875 today, you're behind the gate. It goes to 887 the end of the day. You're kind of like, oh, it's okay. I'll wait for tomorrow. It retests 848, and now you're wondering what you just did. Okay, so every move that you make compounds your next move, right? Every move you make compounds your next move. So knowing what kind of trader you are makes all the difference. I'm not saying I'm not a momentum trader, but you're not in a momentum market. Right now, you're in a market where a lot of investors are going to be going, I need to put money to work. So, keep that in mind. Now, let's just go through this. And we'll go from there. Now, let's just keep going. Best performing sector of this market. I'm being asked a question in the trading room. Let me just get to it real quick. So just about LABU and biotech. Is that going to continue? Okay, it's the best performing sector right now. So there's very little to say about that. Very, very little to say about that. And, just kind of want to watch everything and watch how it's trading. Do I think biotech could come in? Yeah. I mean, here was my thought on biotech, honestly. It's been the strongest sector. So, yeah, I do think that it could absolutely come in. But I think that you have to kind of really watch here and see how this is going to play out. But yeah, I do. I think that this could absolutely, run and just keep pushing. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm not so sure, what to do with that information I just gave you, but it's definitely something that I would be looking at. Sure. I do think that it can push. Do I think that we're going to stop going up because of this? No, I think you're going to rotate. And I think as you rotate, you're going to see things move higher, right? Rotation's not bad. Okay. Rotation is not bad at all. This first 15-minute bar formed since we have had this news. So now you're just going to want to watch this bar and see how the market reacts. Okay. You just want to see, because this is the first 15 minutes. If you flip over this, you're going to push even more. Okay. And that very well could happen here. This could be the day you break this this trend line on the Qs. So, but to answer your question about this, I don't know. I don't know that you really have to worry about it that much. I don't know that's something that I would be concerning myself with, too much right now. So let's just keep going. I hope that answers your question, Miguel. We'll get into it in the room on what to do. But I think that if you bought yesterday, what you bought yesterday, you should be scaling out or trimming, or at least raising your stop. So, I mean, I'll be very blunt to the room right now. I've really trimmed very, very little. I'm just letting things run and seeing how they go. I just don't see the sense in it yet to really get too crazy. I have a very large call position in this name, Tesla. So I have sold some stock against that position, but that's really it. As far as what I've done. So and I've sold very little so that I can't lose money on the trade in case for some reason it goes flat. But that's all I've done there. So other than that, I've done very little. I'm not going to go hog wild on it, reducing the position, because I do think that you can get to 900 today fairly quickly. I think you'll see a run off the open, but you want to sell into this or lock in profit. You don't want to be buying into this. I can't stress the difference enough. I would be looking at names like this that are clearly becoming leaders. Like this has been waiting for a reason to break out. Here it is. So if you see dips on Microsoft, that's definitely one that you want to be looking at today. I can't stress that enough. So they're the kinds of names that I would be looking for today for sure. So let's just keep going through these questions. Great call in the broader market. You've been saying it for the past few weeks. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, here's my point with the broader market. You have no idea what this number is going to be, right? Like, no one has any idea what this number is going to be. My point with the broader market was just simply stating, like, look, you have these higher lows. You have not had this. There's a really good, if you like more fundamental stuff, I would check out the compound. They do a really good job of just breaking stuff down and giving you like historical and statistical data. And when you got to this level, if you were looking at there's a lot of different indicators that I use, but it was pretty clear that you were getting to a bottom, but you don't know if you're going to come back down. Nobody knows. Let's just be clear about it. No one knows what CPI is going to be. Okay. Nobody. We all have our guesses and we all think that we know, but we really just don't know what CPI is going to be. So I always want to make that really clear. You're setting up to kind of move higher. Now you could sell out, break out, move, pull back. It's not going to be a breakaway market. I mean, everyone's got to understand that. This is not going to be a breakaway market, but these higher lows are considerably different than this. And now we're going to push into September. And during September, you get market rebalancing. You get a lot of these people that look at their portfolios and start moving more into equities and out of bonds. So now you're going to have to start going, okay, well, what does that mean? That's all great. I appreciate you telling me that. What's that mean? Well, who in the world is buying a 10-year? Who's buying right? So like now you got people buying the 10-year, right? Well, why are you buying the 10-year? Because if CPI comes in, we're going into a recession next year. I don't care what you call it. They're going to cut rates next year. You know that. You're trying to lock it in. So, which is kind of surprising to see Meta come out and want to do a bond offering right now into this. Kind of troubling to me. Thanks a lot, Anthony. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like LMND, Robert. That was one we were playing around with yesterday. I like this a lot. I mean, if something's going to go, I would be watching this. This is exactly what you want to see, actually, because now you have your test, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, you have your test level, which is here. This is your doji. Flip your doji over 30. And I think you absolutely need to look at this. Yeah, I would absolutely look at that over 30. Yeah, I would. They came out with great earnings. They raised expectations. Things look very, very good. I would expect that to continue to look good. So, I don't really see a sense in doing a lot there, but yeah, I really like that a lot. So we'll just keep seeing how we push here. And if we keep pushing, you got to wait for a pullback, Cameron. You should be selling into this. You should not be buying. You should be selling into this, right? I'm not saying that I'm not going to hold stuff. I absolutely am. But like, if you're in Tesla, right, and you're watching this, right, by 9 o'clock, we're going to get this next bar. Let me just talk about this. We're going to get another bar. If that takes out a lower low, you're going to see some selling. Okay. You do not want to be buying, right? You want to watch, okay, and make sure and see what happens here. So to me, that would be my concern and what I'd want to see. Because you just don't know how this is going to play out off the open. I think you're going to rally, but you could absolutely sell down and then find a better spot to buy. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I would not be buying here. I mean, look, and I'm not saying we're not going higher, but I'm saying that, and we'll do the live stream off the open, but this is what we were looking for. We've been talking about this for weeks. That's what I wanted to see. Down 5%, boom. Right now we're going to shatter. You're going to see a lot of money come in equities because of this. So you have these things called CTAs, right? And these are big future traders that have to put money to work. When this breaks through here and you start seeing the VIX come in and crack, okay? And you're cracking because you're taking out that lower low, which was 2076, and you're taking out 2083. And I don't really need to wait for the market to open. When I see things like that, I need to pay attention to that because that to me means that I'm setting up to wind up, really cutting here and that equities can explode to the upside. So just keep that in mind. You're watching Microsoft just keep grinding higher. Okay. So just FYI, Microsoft is about ready to flip that level where Tesla is just sitting there, right? So you can see the difference. You can see money pouring in the software keep that in mind. That looks like it's going to flip. You might want to pay attention to the ones that are flipping this morning. And you just want to watch the index. So like you form a doji here and you take out that doji. Well, maybe you don't want to wait around and see what's going to happen at 9:30. Maybe you want to start reducing positions here, right? And just locking in some gains. There's nothing wrong with that. But this was a really good number for the market. I'm going to try to get to as much as I can. But no, I would not be buying calls aggressively in that. 170 people in the room. Can you please do me all a favor? Stop for 1 second and please like this video. Helps me greatly with the algorithm. And I purposely don't put ads out so I don't bother you. FSLR, let's get to it. So much to go over. You're kind of popping out here. You're up about 2%. Let's go through this. Yeah, I mean, this is really the space. You know, I don't know that I can buy this that overextended. Watch this 115. I've got a wick here from before. Let's look at the pre and the post. That wick's still there. Wicks are what? Price rejection. I'm probably not touching that till I'm through 115. If you like the space, this is the dominant. This is the 800-pound gorilla in the space. That's becoming increasingly clear, and that's the one that I would focus on. So you know, just keep that in mind. That's the one that interests me the most. I see you had great earnings. It exploded on those earnings and just ran. I mean, the time to buy it was here. Now you just watch 115, and I wouldn't chase anything here, Kazar. Yeah, dude, just chill. We got all day to make money in that room. That's all we're going to do today is trade. We're going to do a lot of trading today. I think it's going to get pretty volatile. Yep, it's breaking. That's what we wanted to do. Where am I looking at selling Tesla? Right now, I'm just watching it. I hedged some of it out. You know, I have some stock. I will wind up doing a lot with calls and then short stock and long stock. So I am very net long right here. And what I'm watching right now, if you're asking what exactly I'm watching, I'll tell you, I'm watching that level. So, and I'm waiting for that bar to close. I've got 2 minutes. And that might be a level that I start trimming at. And then we'll kind of go from there. Based on your comments, I only have first tick lower, close it. So just keep watching what's going on here. And again, I'm doing a lot right now, so thank you for bearing with me between typing in the room and everything else. So you're going to want to just watch this next bar. It's going to form in the next moment here, and then we're going to kind of go from there. Yeah, and you might come in a little bit here, guys. You know, you are up 2.5%. You do have people that are up a lot in these names, and you can start seeing how we're tightening near that area. So just watch what's going on here, because you might get yourself in a position where you might want to, reduce exposure right here. So let's just watch this bar for a moment. You can see how they're bringing that bar down, right? And how they're trying to drag you down for that first 15 minutes. That's algorithms playing with it, but you need to watch that, right? So, and you can see that, I'm sure. So they're going to lock that in. And then if you tick below that, you might want to consider, just what you're going to do about it. So I'm just watching that very closely as we're talking. And there's that bar, and you can see how we took out that lower low. So that's something that, if you were considering trimming Tesla, you're going to really want to watch this area right here. Just watch how that develops. Are they going to give me a little doji and then break higher? Are they going to sell it down? I mean, they know what they're doing, right? So you have to watch that and make that conscious decision as to what they're doing, right? Are they going to break you down? Are they not going to break you down? Are they going to run it back to here? So this is something that I would trim. If I was going to trim, I would probably trim a little bit right here already, because I wouldn't want to be playing around. I don't want to come into us breaking down or us going back and selling back to flat off the open, and I didn't take any profit. That will be very, very annoying. Look, the key takeaway right now that I'm trying to get everyone to understand is we're looking at just the open, okay? You need to be really looking at this very differently. and I'll get to questions in a moment. And I appreciate everyone putting up with the way I'm talking and everything I'm doing at once. Makes it, way better for me to be on these calls. You're looking at today. These questions that you're asking me are today questions. What about next week? What about when Tesla goes to 840 next week and you have the chance to buy it, right? So, or what about when the Nvidia sells back down to 168? If it goes back to 168 today, well, now you need to be a net buyer, right? This is the thing that I've been trying to get people in the trading room to grasp. You need to be a net buyer of the market now, right? Not a net seller. And there's a really big difference there, obvious. I'm not shorting as much anymore. I'm shorting certain companies that have bad fundamentals. Carvana and Coin, I think, are going to have problems, but you need to look at the market as a whole and say, what has changed? Well, inflation has peaked. Okay, that's the story, whether or not you believe it or not. That's what's happened. Inflation has peaked. And now we're in a position where certain companies are coming out and raising expectations. I mean, these solar names crushed, right? So you can say whatever you want, right? It's from one of the educational classes in the trading room. So you can see we crushed, right? So then you start going, well, what else is going on? Well, net beat. Well, how's that doing? Okay, TTD beat. Microsoft beat. Apple beat. So let me get this straight. I'm in an environment. There's a free newsletter below. Just click the description. Comes out 3 times a week. So you need to just get your head around this. Things are changing. Companies are coming out beating or exceeding earnings estimates. Yes, capital intensive companies. Yeah, they took a hit. NVIDIA took a hit. Micron took a hit. They're capital intensive. It's very different than a software company. Very different. So keep that in mind. I hope that helps. So that's what I'm looking at. I've been saying it. Yeah. I've been saying that I think that we're there. I think, you're talking about like longer term. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here telling everybody to look longer term. And here I am giving you a 15-minute chart on the on the pre-market. It's kind of funny. The first level you have to watch is you have a bear flag here. See this bear flag? You are holding this level, this 848 level, but you just got to watch it. Okay. So what I like so far is I hedged a little bit here and my hedge isn't working. So I like that. All right. So my hedge is already not working. So that's exactly what I want to say. Okay. That means that I'm in really good shape as far as, where my hedge is. So just keep that in mind. I like that. But to answer your question, you have to look at the high of this bar, which is 936.67. That's going to be your first problem. Then you're going to run into 955.50 and then 1003. So are you going to get there today? You're going to have a pretty good day today. I think you're going to get a shot where you see some flash off the open where we come down and you need to be a net buyer. But you do not want to be buying off the open and just assuming that we're going to rip. You want to sell into that rip, sell into retail. Don't be retail. Just don't be retail. I'm going to coin that, I think. So I hope that helps, Ant. Those 3 levels, I hope that helps. But Federico, click on the preview. I might open it to a couple people. Like if I get 5 people today or something, I might open it up for 5 people. I try to keep the room really small. It's me, and we focus highly on education, trading, alerts. So I have to onboard everybody myself and talk, and I trade. I trade, so I keep it small. But I can open it up for 5 people since you asked. XBI really hung in it today. Yeah, man. I mean, that's my point, Shane. We've been in this trade for a while now, and I got some questions in the trading room. Give me a moment here so I can answer these people. Historical proof about the market when they break the trend line. Let's see here. Can't get out pull market. Sell stock against them or no? Should shorts be closed or wait? Depends. specifics, please. All right. So sorry about that. All right. So what we're going to want to see here is just, let me just check out some things here while we're looking at this. Yeah. You just got to be really careful here. Like, could you reject here? Yeah, you could. So just slow your roll. Like, just let it all settle in and figure out what it's going to do. Okay. I was asked a question in the trading room right now. Would you sell here? Or would you cover your shorts here? I don't know that I'd cover my shorts here if I was short a lot of names. I think I'd be more on the side of, let's see how this goes. I'm not so sure that I would close those here. I think I would watch a little bit more and see how we're going to do off the open. I think you might get a better chance to close off the open, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So that's what I would do with my shorts, Haley, if you're listening. And feel free to DM me. I like XBI a lot. I'm sorry, I'm on 10 different tangents right now. So please subscribe to the channel, click all notifications. So what we go over timely, tonight's video is going to be insane. I mean, we killed it with this, dude. Like, we just killed this trade. Between that and LABU, I mean, we just killed it. So these were the entries. I just think that you're going to see more and more people buying this, but I do think you see diversification. I thought we might see diversification in the semis. We're seeing some buying in semis, but we're not seeing a lot of buying in semis, right? So we're going to kind of have to watch that. Where are we seeing the buying more? You're kind of seeing the buying more in the cloud space, aren't we? Right? Like, you're kind of, I know it's not really moving, but there's a big difference between like looking at software and how you're going sideways on software versus looking at the stocks. I like looking at the cloud where you're in this downtrend, right? Like, yeah, you're up 2%, but you're not really doing anything, So now I'm down in both my hedges, which means to me that stop hedging. Tesla's probably going to push. I use my trading as a guide. When the hedges go against me. But like, do you want to buy the stocks? Like, let's say that you don't know what this is, right? And you're looking at that chart. Do you want to buy that? Or if you had to buy one, or do you want to buy that? Right? You want to buy this. So I think the money's going to go in the software. I thought it might go back in the semis. It absolutely could. It could absolutely creep back in. But for now, it hasn't. So we don't know, right? Operational, like, we don't know. All I can tell you is that this is what we know. That's all I can tell you. So if you sit here and you watch these push, I don't know that I'd be buying this. Like, you could try it operational. It's not really my kind of trade. You have to have a lot of patience. I don't really have a tremendous amount of patience for stuff like that. So, I just don't. So let's just see here. You go this and this and okay, great. So I just don't have a tremendous amount of patience for things like that. I apologize for not getting to everyone's questions today. So if possible, Wingstop and Waste Management is overextended, more juice left. All I keep thinking about is Rick Ross. Every time someone says Wingstop. Do I think that this could keep going? Look, I got all these wonky levels right here. Let me get rid of these and get rid of all these annotations. These are the types of companies that are working. The problem is that you have huge high food costs. If you see PPI come down tomorrow, which I think you will, this is going to be huge and push. Okay. So absolutely take a look at this. Consider this. Definitely something to play with. All right. I like it. And you're behind earnings. Now just watch this level right here. I mean, if you're in this already, there's your level, right? Hold on. Let me show it this way because I like this. There's your level, right? If you close below that, you have to get out. Some people say use the 5-day. You can, but I like levels. Levels trump moving averages. So they do in my mind anyway. I think the push yesterday, this is a really important question, and let's go through this. I'm wondering if the most of push was shorts getting out of the way. I think yesterday covering was long saying, I don't want the risk. Get me the heck out of this. I think that's what you had yesterday. So for me, no, I'm not feeling that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not feeling that this is shorts covering. Okay, shorts are not going to panic like this. And shorts are not going to bring down the VIX. The VIX is imploding, right? You're down 5.5% on the VIX. So shorts are not going to bring down the VIX. They're going to buy calls. They're going to spike that a little bit. Just kind of keep that in mind, and kind of go from there. So, but, see what's happening. Look, this is a big move and you could digest it. And kind of go from there. And let me just go here and click on this and go from there. But let me just give me 1 second here. Sorry. Give me 1 second. So just want to keep watching what's going on here. Bear with me 1 second. I have one other trade on. I got to just watch. All right. So let's just keep going. But you don't want to be thank you. I appreciate that. We do work our butts off, Emily. And I appreciate your help, Emily, a lot in the room. I didn't like it. That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate the likes. They do help. I want to get this room bigger. If you don't. What's up, Bob? Hey, Mark. SE, yeah, that kind of space is really interesting, isn't it? I think names like this, you definitely want to, let me just get rid of all my lines here. Let's get rid of all the annotations. Yeah, names like this are really interesting to me because you're building these huge bases. One of the things I've been trying to get people to do is start looking from January, from the beginning of the year, right? And start looking at the chart from that perspective and start saying, in 6 months to a year, could I get back here? Yes. If you start looking at this from a 6-month chart, you have a huge base. You've been basing since May. Now, there's no real reason to do anything here, but you've been basing. So wait till you see a real move and a real push out. And then maybe it's something that you want to look at, right? And get involved with. So yeah, I definitely think it's something like that you should be paying attention to, and kind of go from there. So absolutely. Yeah, John, I'm short a lot lower or a lot higher actually. And I've been bouncing around with it. I got crushed in some puts the other day. Yeah, I think those kinds of names that I really like. I really like these kinds of names. But you got to just watch them. Like, do you really want to be buying this up 7%? You have to get over, like, the first thing is you have to get over 43.27 before you even consider it. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a new hat. Don't be retail. I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to make a hat that says that. Perfectly. Yeah. Agreed. What's in the newsletter? So why is what selling off? I don't know. Why is TLT? Why is the back end selling off? We could spend hours on that. What do I think? I don't really have a good answer. I think that people are going to buy. I think people are going to sell long term and buy more short term is what I would think. Right? Because if you go long term and you look out 20 years, you probably don't want that right now because you have too much uncertainty because you're going to flip, right? Like, this is going to flip, and this is probably going to go back to 2.5, 2.25. People are going to buy houses again. Home builders are going to go up. But this was our level, right? If you remember that, I don't know if you remember that or not, but you know, historically, we're waiting for this to break this, multi-decade trend line, and it never confirmed. So, I think you're just going to see that the 10-year and lower, maybe they're going to rally and people are going to sell the long bond because they don't want the exposure, because they don't know what's going to happen. Even if you look last night, it's a really good question, Sage, because even if you look at the bond offering from Meta last night, they were having people go out 10 more years and only giving them 10 or 20 more basis points, which was, yeah, if you did email me, Travis, and I didn't get it, can you forward me the email? It's very possible it went in the spam. Just email it again right there, and we'll go from there. I apologize. I haven't got back to you if it's been 2 weeks. I should have gotten back to you if it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, I want a bonk hat too. We're gonna have to make some hats. I think if I get up to like 10,000 subscribers, I can actually put them online. I would just sell them for cost. I think it'd be funny. Can you look at ARCC? What's up, DeBazian? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. ARCC. So far, every Tesla, I want to be very clear about this. Every Tesla hedge I did since I was talking today, I'm down in. So shorting the Tesla against some of my calls did not work. I just want to be really clear on that. So that means to me that it might just rip faces off the open. That's usually what it means if I'm that wrong. So just watch that off the open. I don't know, man. Maybe if you can get over that level. Do you have any volume on this, DeBazian? Yeah, you got volume on that break. Maybe if you get over that level, you could take a look at it. I like that. Yeah, I apologize for asking you to do that, but hey, Tariq. Yeah, names like this. Let's see here. Travis, I just got it. It just came across. It just beeped. I will answer you very shortly. Just give me some time to get off the open. Where's your volume, my friend? Where's your volume? And then you're going into earnings? I mean, you're bidding up into the earnings, right? But where's your volume? And I got this nasty red bar right there. Is that red bar real? Yeah, that's real. Yeah, I would avoid that. Hey, Stuart. Stuart, I did get your email yesterday. I will respond to it. Just give me a little time, my friend. I really appreciate it, brother. How'd that miss my scan? I don't know. Missed mine too. Not good. Maybe because of the market cap. What's the market cap? You might have missed my scans because of the market cap. Wow, that's a beast. Solid earnings. And look at that volume coming in. Whenever you want to see the volume, right, and you see that it's kind of low, just use this little feature right here. Every system has it, just relative volume. And just make sure you're over that 2 level. And this is 3.5. So you have more than enough relative volume that you should be paying attention to that. So hopefully that little tidbit helps. Let's cover Amazon, and then we're going to call it a wrap. And again, one lesson to take from this, besides liking this video, watch the VIX. The VIX is breaking. That's what you want to see. Amazon, this is something that, we're in the newsletter. Obviously, you're aware of that since you're part of the group. You're building a huge, high, tight flag. There is nothing to do there. Nothing. Literally nothing to do there. All right? Get through 146, I'll probably add to it, just to be candid. I've had leaps on that we put on about 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and we own stock. So I like it a lot, and I think that it's going to do exceptionally well going in there. I didn't. I'm just covering it now for you. So hopefully you heard that. I know that I'm a little delayed, and we'll go from there. But I like it a lot. I mean, if I was going to buy it, I would literally go through this entire trade, and that's the trade that I would follow. I mean, I can't be any clearer. I think you'll see 138 again. That's what I'm saying. Like, You are in a building position market. Understand the difference. You're position building. If you are position building, that usually means things are not going to run away from you. All right. I got to jump. I got to hop in the room, everybody. Trade to win today. Don't be